Okay, so it's a very cool and crisp Saturday morning. It's October 16th. And as usual, I've been thrashing to get everything ready at the last minute, because whenever you order something, everything comes in at the last minute. So, as you know, in the last video, I figured out the brake drag. I also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but maybe we'll mention it again. Turn this TV off so that the rich people can't get mad that I make a couple pennies off a video. But I fixed the, got it getting wide open throttle. And what I had to do was, actually it was the location of this. I kind of figured the cable had stretched, and it still may have, because I could have sworn a long time ago when this car was converted to big block, same cable, could have sworn I was getting wide open throttle. Surely I would have checked it, and I know I did. But if you remember, as I showed in the last video, it was like probably a 1/4 inch shy of getting full throttle, and it was just location of this. Fixed it. I just made me a plate that bolted to my original mounting bracket hose, and then I drilled and tapped some new 5/16 18 hose, which moved this back. Another thing that it helped with, this was at an angle which could put it in a bind because that was lower. That 1/2 inch thick plate kind of leveled that out, so it's getting wide open throttle now. I'm not going to dump it wide open to show you, because it squirts a lot of fuel in here, and kind of makes it hard to start if you get too much fuel in the cylinders. So, and something else I've done, I took advantage of that extra week without bracket racing. I went ahead and updated my fuel plumbing. I went ahead and changed everything to 10AN PTFE. It's like that all the way up to the carburetor now. And the reason I did that, even though at one time my original fuel system, shut up bird, even though my original fuel system seemed to be sufficient, because the car used to run a lot better than it has been in these last few videos. It was the steel braided fuel line with a rubber lining. Basically, it's a rubber hose, rubber fuel line hose with the steel braiding over it. And that was installed on this car when I changed over to big block, which was in year 2001. So that's over 20 years. And one guy mentioned it, forgot his name, sorry about that, and it's something that had been in the back of my mind already, is that that stuff will break down, and it could close up and restrict things. So I went ahead and ordered everything. I wasn't going to change the return line, because I had a 1/2 inch aluminum return line, but it was 1/2 inch OD. So when I put the 10AN feed line, I changed it from the tank through the pump filter all the way up to the regulator. My fuel gauge got really bouncy again, and it wasn't after I did this pump swap. So I got to reading the directions, and the guy who made the comment was correct. Your return line should be at least as big or bigger than your feed line, and here's my return line. So I had to order some more stuff, spend some more money, and now I do know when you first turn it on, there's a little bounce to the gauge, but after it seems to get everything circulating, it stays solid. Whether it will stay that way going down the track, we don't know yet. It should. It really, really should. So you can see, when you first turn it on, getting that, and it takes a little while, and there it goes. You can hear my fuel lines making all kinds of noise, and then you get that. Seems like once it sets, I guess things bleed down. And maybe somebody out there who knows more about fuel systems than I do would tell me how to get rid of that. But, maybe it won't matter once it's out of there. As you can see, it's still doing that. So we'll see how she does after we drive her for a while. And you can hear the pump rattling and everything. That's normally a quiet pump. But we'll see. So changes are made of that. Got the correct pump and regulator combo now, and we have one number coder plugs. We're running the NGK8s. And I have noticed it doesn't do that starter drag, like it's way too high in time when you pump a little fuel in it with the coder plugs. We'll see if it makes it perform better. I do know those plugs are burning white. I don't know if it's because they were hotter, the other plugs were hotter, or because of the lean condition, or both. And so we'll see. We got freewheeling brakes now that should not be holding the car back any, and they were dragging pretty tight if you've seen that last video. So we're just gonna try it out. We'll load it up and I'll see you at the track.